Hello everyone, just a few minutes ago Amazon Games posted our Lost Ark January update. This is a huge one, something that defines our version in the West, and judging by your tweets asking me for a guide on how you will not be left behind tier 3 content, then there's some pretty spicy info in this one. So we're gonna skip the intro, we're just gonna get into the meat of things, and we're gonna analyze and discuss every single thing that has changed compared to our closed beta version, for example. Yorn region and other regions as well, which automatically implies that we're getting tier 3 content straight with day one for our release. This is something never before seen in any other region. Everyone started with tier 1 and then slowly progressed through that to tier 2 and then tier 3. Patch 3.0, for example, is the newest patch currently available in Lost Ark. This is a big patch, right? And there's nothing in development after it. So as you can imagine, it's going to be split, and it has been split in various smaller patches, and each of these smaller patches that are all part of tier 3 or patch 3.0 comes with their own increase in gear score, and that happens as the majority catches up to what is already the maximum. So we in the West start with an early version of this patch 3.0, and then once the majority has caught up to our day one release end game, in terms of item level, then we're probably going to have an increase in item level that comes with more content and opens up more possibilities in Lost Ark. The combat level cap has been increased to 60, which is nice. This is a very long-term goal. For those of you who are new, level cap in Lost Ark is 50. These extra 10 levels will give you more skill points and also unlock the ability for you to upgrade your current skills past their cap, which gives them around 10% increase in damage overall. So it's a very nice thing, obviously, but it takes months to get from, let's say, 50 to 60. It requires you to just play the game, right? Additional tier 3 content will be added to the game post-launch in order to set the pace for player progression. I really hope that the pace is good. I really hope that they thought about this, because this right now is the most crucial and important thing. It needs to be slow enough for the majority and for the free-to-play players especially to feel happy and rewarded, and to feel that they have been included in the next big release, which is a raid boss called Argos, right? So they need to reach that item level before they drop this, both in terms of new content and optimal difficulty. Steam achievements, 173 Steam achievements will be available in the game at launch. Character voice selection. Character creation now includes an option to select a voice for your character. Each class has 3-4 options to choose from. Korean voiceover DLC options. Players will be able to select the option to use the original Korean voiceovers in game along with the subtitles of their choice. This will be obtainable in a free Steam DLC pack at launch. Korean subtitles will not be available. My summoner will sound so great with the Korean voiceovers for the skills, assuming this is what they're talking about, right? Skills said in Korean, your character. This is such a cool thing that so many players wanted. Some early game cutscenes are now skippable. Thank God for that. Bless you, whoever took this decision. Balance tweaks for pacing the game. Another huge point of feedback that we received during the closed beta was that many players felt like some of the game's pacing and gearing was not quite challenging enough. No, that was when tier 1 was the end game, not when tier 3 is the end game. When tier 3 is the end game, let's get, at a decent pace past tier 1 and 2. I hope they didn't get it wrong. Okay, so where is it? We've worked to make balance changes to combat this, and while it won't slow you down early on, okay, they didn't get it wrong. It's good. We don't want to be slowed down early on when we have tier 3. The endgame content will prove to be a bit more challenging for players. Yes, tier 3 is in general more challenging, nothing special here. It should be like that because it's the last patch with nothing currently even in development to follow it. So because of this, enchantment rates for gear are low. Progressing through item levels is not as fast as tier 1 and 2. So this is all normal. It's fine. It's an MMO, it's a grind, it's something to do on a daily basis, etc. Community FAQ, character customization questions. What are the characters, stronghold, and guild naming restrictions? The following are, actually you can read this yourselves, right? Anything really important here. Be sure to open your Northern Lawmaker or Platinum skin chest with the character you want to use it on, as the skin will be set to match the character's class. These skins will only be usable on the 15 classes that are available at launch, and you also get just one of them. So if you buy a platinum, you get a Northern Lawmaker and the platinum skin. If you buy a gold, you just get a Northern Lawmaker, one of them. Misc gameplay questions. What happens if your guild leader doesn't log in for weeks? Okay, come on. just leave that. Just leave that guild. Looking ahead, they mentioned they will have a exact time when the servers will open and a pre-download time as well in an article before release, so in between now 27th and the 8th of February. Before launch, they are also going to give us full patch notes, some information about what makes this version of the game different from other versions, more details about Lost Ark's business model and monetization. There will also be a roadmap to share our post-launch plans headed your way once the game is in your hands. So this roadmap will come after the release. Yeah. And yeah, this was everything. Very exciting stuff. I know that many of you are already panicking after seeing this decision. I saw it on my Discord, saw it on my Twitter. So I would like to take a couple of minutes and share with you my thoughts on Tier 3 straight from day one. The version of Tier 3 we're getting is a very early stage of Tier 3. So that means there's not a lot of gear score to progress through even after you get to start Tier 3 in our region. And there are also systems already in game to help players get past Tier 1 and Tier 2 at a nice, steady, fast, rewarding pace, so that we could all be as soon as possible in Tier 3 without any huge gaps that would give a bunch of people extreme advantages for a very long time. And because of that, I'm pretty confident that this is actually going to work out. It has to work out because they obviously thought about it a lot before doing it. The beauty of a fresh release is that no matter how much real money you have or how experienced you already are with the game, we are all new players there using in-game means to farm the materials, enchant our gear, grow our characters to whatever end game we get. In our case, Tier 3. Nobody's going to sell these materials so that someone with real money could have the chance to buy them from the auction house. The auction house is going to be empty because we're going to use these materials for ourselves. And when we're done, then we start selling for people who join us later, for alts. And at that point, it doesn't bother you that someone catches up to close to where you are because they buy your mats, right? So because of these reasons, I believe you shouldn't worry about real money. Also, all of this, knowing what to do as a new player, knowing as much as a veteran player, is nothing that cannot be solved by watching a couple of guides. I'm gonna have guides here on my YouTube channel teaching you all the important things that you need to keep in mind at endgame, how to be fast about it, where to farm, etc. So all you need to do is basically watch them, and at that point you're equal to everyone else because of this fresh release. Of course, getting to Tier 3 content sooner rather than later is now important because gold gain from Tier 3 content is significantly higher than it is from Tier 1 and 2. So there is a little bit of sense of urgency there to reach, to start farming Tier 3 things. Having that said, the most important and crucial thing here is the pacing of future gear score increases, and that means future updates. If Amazon Games leaves enough time for the free-to-play player or the active player to progress through the Tier 3 version that we're getting and be ready gear score wise for the next update, then this idea is just a genius idea to start with Tier 3, because it gives a lot of content on top of the side content that new players have to discover in Lost Ark, such as the skill points, the runes, the islands, the crafting, the leveling up your housing plot, etc. There's a lot of stuff to do for a new player in a fresh release of Lost Ark, right? On top of that, we're also gonna have a lot of actual content, dungeons and raids to go through, gear as well, and that's fantastic if they leave us enough time to go through this at a normal new player pace. I wish you lots of love. I thank you for watching, and yeah, I guess I will see you in just a few hours from now because I had a video planned for today. And until then, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you really soon.